Skeptics are fond of saying that you can't trust the Bible. Now, whenever the issue of the Bible's reliability is raised, I think it's helpful to begin by asking your questioner to be specific. If somebody says to you the Bible is full of contradictions or myths and fables, ask them to show you one. You see, most people are not aware that historians take the Bible as seriously as any other ancient source. There are 3 tests in particular that historians can use to determine whether a particular document is historically reliable. So, for example, the bibliographic test, the internal test, and the external test. Now, the bibliographic test looks at an ancient manuscript of the Bible and asks whether today's text is the same as that of the original. The simple answer to that question is yes. We have thousands of ancient manuscripts of the Bible dating from the early 2nd century right down to the Middle Ages. And what those manuscripts show is that the biblical text has been very accurately preserved. We can trust the Bible we have today. Second, we have the internal test. We can ask, was the text we're looking at written by eyewitnesses? Here it's very interesting. Take the New Testament as an example. Most scholars would date the Gospels very, very early, mid to late 1st century AD. Paul's letters date even earlier, in some cases written within 20 years of Jesus, well within the lifetimes of the eyewitnesses to the events. Finally, we have the external evidence, in particular archaeology. Time and time again, archaeology has endorsed the Bible. Now, whilst archaeology doesn't prove the Bible is true, what it does demonstrate is that the biblical writers knew their history, knew their geography, and knew their politics. All of that means that the Bible deserves to be taken as seriously as any other ancient historical document. So when you encounter skeptics, share that information with them. Encourage them to read the Bible for themselves before they pass judgment on it. As Christians too, I think it's important that we familiarise ourselves with this kind of plentiful evidence for the Bible. There are also many helpful books you can read to explore this further. For example, my colleague Amy Orr Ewing has written a wonderful book called Why Trust the Bible. You can find it and other resources on our website, rzim.org.